Jesus says your miracle is about to be given away if you skip this. You don't want to miss what happens next. It's crucial and you won't get this chance again. Please, my child, give me a minute. It won't take long and I promise you'll be glad you did. Stop right now. Do not rush through this. Do not scroll away. You shouldn't let this chance pass you by like many others have. I'm coming into your day, your mind, and your space because I need you to hear what I have to say. I need your heart to calm down. I need you to take a deep breath. Pay attention, please. That's not because I want you to, but because something you've been praying and hoping for is very close, much closer than you think. You might miss what I've put right in front of you if you move too quickly, get sidetracked again, or put this off like you've done so many other important things. Again, I ask you in a soft voice, but with a sense of urgency, could you give me just 1 minute? You don't have to give me your whole day or all of your energy. Just this moment, this breath, this small space where the world lets go of you long enough for you to feel me again. I know how many times you've rushed through these kinds of times. I know how many times you've told me that I made your heart race. Maybe later. I'll get to it later. I know how many times you thought something important was going on but didn't pay attention because life was too loud, too much, or too heavy. I know how many times you said you'd get back to it but never did. But this time is different. Do you feel it? There is something inside you that is softer, calmer, and more open than usual right now. You can feel the weight of these words in your spirit. There is a part of you that knows I'm close. I'm getting closer to you and reaching out to you in a way that you can't fully explain, but also can't ignore. This moment isn't just happening by chance. That didn't happen by chance. Your heart has been drifting farther than you know. So, I lined it up with your life. I had to step in before something very valuable got away from you. Your life is so noisy these days. You have been having so many worries, thoughts, and feelings that you haven't even had time to hear yourself breathe. Everywhere you look, the world is pulling at you. You haven't been aware of how much of yourself you've been losing while you've been running on empty. Your body and soul are both tired. Your mind and spirit are both tired from all the craziness. You've been carrying things that were never meant to be carried by you by yourself. You've been secretly fighting, acting like everything is fine. Acting like you're strong and acting like the weight doesn't hurt as much as it does. You've missed my quiet voice because life has been so loud. You didn't get my signals. It's been too long since the soft pushes I paved the way for you. It wasn't that you didn't care. It was that you were very busy. Not because you didn't care about me, but because your heart was tired. Not because you didn't love me, but because you've been living to survive instead of truly living. I saw everything. Your eyes showed that you were tired. I could tell your steps were heavy. Even you tried to hide how you felt, but I saw them. There were parts of you that you kept hidden so no one else would worry. That's why I'm here now. That's why my voice sounds different from usual. That's why your heart is beating even though you don't know why yet. For deep, heavy, and secret things you've been praying for. You said prayers in a whisper while crying. You hid your prayers under your breath to keep other people from hearing. Prayers that you didn't believe were strong enough, good enough, or important enough to go to heaven. They did, though. All of them made it to me. I took those prayers with me. I paid attention to them when you thought no one else did. I put the answers together in ways you can't even imagine yet, while I held them in my hands. Now, one of the answers, breakthroughs or moments you prayed for, is finally coming true. You have to be awake for it though. You need to be there. You need to be ready for it. That's why I need your help. Not to keep you in line, but to keep the thing I'm sending you safe. Don't rush through this moment or these words. If you let yourself get sidetracked like you always do when something feels too real or too deep, you might miss the thing you've been begging me to send. Just give me a moment to hold you still. Let me make it quiet. For now, let me quiet the noise inside you. There is a moment, just this breath, when your soul can calm down enough for me to really talk to you. I know how many times you've put off times like this because you were afraid of how you would feel. There were times when you didn't want to face your pain. I know how many times you backed off because you didn't believe good things could happen to you. I know how many times you ran because it scared you to hope. You must have skipped over my quiet whispers many times because you didn't think anything could change. If you run to God when life gets hard, He will protect you. But my child, I never gave up on you. I kept getting closer. I never stopped trying to get in touch. Even when you put up walls, were scared, or kept quiet, I loved you. You were looking for peace, but there was too much noise around you to notice when it came. You're trying to find your way, but are getting sidetracked by other things that make you feel lost. You've been looking for comfort, but the things you've been putting around you are making you feel worse instead of better. You've been looking for me, but you can't remember how to slow down long enough to hear me. I stepped into your moment. Then I showed up in your day. I reached out into your space and asked in a whisper, "Can you give me a minute? Just a little while longer." And I promise you won't be sorry because this message has something tender and healing for you that you've needed for so long that your heart forgot how to ask for it properly. There is more to what you are reined in than just words on a screen. It's exactly what heaven wanted. It's the time I chose for you because your spirit is finally ready. Are you ready to listen? All set to let go of something? Ready to get what I've been working on behind the scenes? You might not fully grasp everything yet. You could feel like you're not ready yet. You might not know what's going to happen, but believe me, this moment is important. This is all I ask. Pay attention to me. Please give me your heart. Please breathe in for now only. Just long enough for me to change your life by putting something inside you. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Let me tell you, my child, why I had to interrupt you right now. Why I suddenly reached into your day and pulled you in the chest. You should know why these words came to you just when your mind was blank and your heart was tired. For a long time, you've been feeling too much, like you have a weight pressing against your spirit in ways you haven't fully admitted to yourself. You've been feeling a light weight on your shoulders as you go about your day. A weight that you push down so that you can keep going. A weight you hide behind laughter, habits, and other things that keep you busy. This weight drains you completely when you're by yourself. You're mentally worn out from trying to keep everything together while parts of your heart feel like they're slipping away. Your spirit has been drowning in the noise of everything you've had to handle on your own. It's not that you don't believe in me or want me. It's just that you haven't been talking about it. My child, you have been drifting and you have no idea it. There are no loud warnings when you're drifting. Every little thing that is given up, every moment that is skipped, and every tug that is ignored adds up to this. When life gets too loud, your feelings get too heavy, and your thoughts get too full. It can happen. You drifted not because you were trying to get away from me, but because you were just barely living. You slid because you were worn out. You drifted because too many hits had hurt your heart. If you drifted, it was because you wanted someone to finally see how much you've been carrying. And you got used to being alone and quiet. I saw it, though I could feel your spirit calming down. There was less hope for you. I watched as you slowly lost touch with the parts of yourself that used to feel alive. I saw you slip into numbness and I couldn't let you go without reaching out and touching you. You've been carrying the weight of things that were never meant to be carried by you without my help. You tried not to make a fuss because you didn't want to bother anyone. Every time you felt like giving up, you told yourself you were strong enough. In order to get through the pain, you ignored it. It helped you get over your grief to bury it. To get through being alone, you pretended not to feel it. Because you didn't want to break down. You didn't let yourself feel too much. Because you didn't want to break. You made your heart so tight that not even joy could get in. You kept emotional wounds inside without taking care of them. You were tired but didn't take a break from it. You carried around heartbreak without really getting better from it. Being responsible for so many things weighed you down that you forgot what it was like to breathe freely. You numbed yourself to stay alive. So you wouldn't feel like you were falling behind. You shut down your own needs. You took your mind off of the pain in your chest by doing something else. You kept yourself busy so you didn't have to think. You kept going even though you were already broken. You told yourself you were okay, but you were really getting deeper into a place where you couldn't clearly feel me. You weren't turning me down. The only way you knew how to protect yourself was. You were not walking. I watched you in silence as you tried not to break down. I understand why you emotionally shut down. I understand why you shut down parts of your heart. I know why you stopped having high hopes. You told yourself over and over again not to feel hope, trust, or get hurt again. I get it. You thought that being numb would make the pain go away, but it was actually stopping you from receiving the blessing that is coming your way. That's why I had to stop you, my child. In light of this, my voice sounds stronger than before. That's why this moment feels heavy, planned, and clear. You were getting too quiet, which would have kept you from seeing the answer you've been praying for. It's possible that you would have missed everything that heaven has been planning because you were so tired. You were falling into a state of numbness that would keep you from seeing the chances I've set in front of you. You were putting your emotions into survival mode just as a breakthrough was about to happen. I couldn't let you drift away from the blessing because I could see how close it was. I had to help out. I had to get into your day in a way that you would understand, a way that would stop you in your tracks and pull your heart back from the edge of being worn out. You almost missed something that was marked with your name. Something I made for you before you even knew you needed it. That will bring back parts of you that you thought would never come back. I saw that your heart was getting too tired to take in what was coming. That's why I stepped in before your strength got any worse. You've been going through life with the weight of 10 different battles pressing on you at the same time. So, I stepped into your moment. I stepped in because you've been telling yourself you're fine while running on empty. Because I saw that you barely had any room left to really feel me. I stepped in. I refused to lose you to numbness, fear, or emotional exhaustion. I need you to understand something very well, my child. Heaven set this very moment aside just for you. Yesterday, today, or tomorrow, but not now. This very moment right now was picked out, marked, and made just for your heart. You've been led to this message all your life without stopping. Every tired night, every silent tear, every unanswered prayer, and every whisper you spoke into the dark, you felt alone. You felt seen. And you thought your life was stuck. Everything you did led you to this breath, this pause, and this meeting with me. I'm not making this up. There's no chance in this. This isn't a mistake. It was important for your heart that I put this moment in the timeline of your life. I brought you here because your spirit was trying to tell you something, but your mind didn't know what it was. At this very moment, I aligned because you have been drowning in stress, noise, pain, and exhaustion. And you were just seconds away from losing consciousness again. I aligned this minute because the blessing that is coming into your life needs you to wake up, breathe, feel, and connect with me again. Right now, I aligned because I wanted your heart to be ready to receive what heaven has planned. My child, please get closer because I'm about to talk to you in a very deep way. The parts that you've learned to keep hidden, even from yourself. I want to hear about your pain, the hurt you hid, the pain you played down. You kept your pain to yourself because you were afraid no one would care enough to help you carry it. I saw you hold so many parts of your heart together with hands that were shaking while you pretended to be fine, strong, and not aware of the weight pressing on your chest. I saw everything, though. I saw the heartbreak that left you scarred in ways you still can't get over. I saw times when someone you believed in hurt you. When someone you cared about left you, when the person you gave your soul to completely messed it up. I saw how badly it hurt you. I saw how you tried to move on. Even though you were very hurt, I saw how hard you worked to smile even though you knew your heart was breaking. You tell yourself that you're over it. But the truth is that that breakup has been affecting you for longer than you think because you don't want to feel that pain again. You hide your pain in quiet ways, avoiding memories, hopes, and dreams. You put up walls not because you don't want love, but because you're afraid of being broken again. Oh, my child, I saw all of that pain. I was there for you when everything fell apart. You thought no one would notice when I held you. I saw your tears coming before they hit the ground. I saw how tired you looked. The kind of tiredness that doesn't come from not getting enough sleep, but from fighting too many battles by yourself. You've been physically, mentally, and emotionally worn out. You're sick of waiting, hoping, pretending, and always having to be the strong one. The steady one. The one who keeps things together while you're crying out for a place to sleep because you've been pouring from an empty cup. You've been tired because you have been holding on when you need to be held and giving when you need to be given. I saw everything. I saw how your spirit was shaking. I could tell your body was heavy in those times. I saw you keep going even though you felt like you couldn't. I saw how upset you were. You know those times when you really hoped something would happen but another door shut. That feeling you had when you thought things would finally get better, but then they seemed to go the other way. When people didn't show up for you. I could see the sadness in your eyes. When claims were not kept. When hopes didn't come true, there were times when chances missed you. That hurt built up inside you until you were afraid to hope for anything at all. I saw I was very upset about all of those things, though, my child. I never made fun of your hope. I never told you your dreams were silly. I never forgot about your pain. I saw how lonely you were. The kind that stays with you even when there are other people around. The kind that tells you in your heart that no one really sees you. You have no one who really gets you. No one really stays. I saw the nights when you were by yourself. I also saw the nights when you felt emotionally alone. Even though other people were around, I could tell you wanted to connect with someone. Someone who would get what was going on in your heart without you having to explain it. You looked like you wanted comfort, kindness, company, and someone to look at you and say, "I'm here." I could see how much you wanted to be loved in ways that didn't hurt. I loved you no matter what. Even when you felt like you weren't being seen, I saw how scared you were. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus, a plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The fear of what will happen. The fear of doing the same things again. The worry that you're too much. The worry that you're not good enough. I saw the fear that made you question what you did. I saw the fear that made you doubt your worth. I saw the fear that made you hide in order not to be turned down. I saw the fear that made you settle for less than what your heart really wanted. I saw the fear that woke you up in the wee hours of the morning. The fear that threw your thoughts off track. The fear that sped up your heart. I saw the fear that made you feel like you were the only person in the world. You were never by yourself, though. I was always next to you. I saw how confused you were. When nothing seemed to make sense. When you had no idea why certain events took place the way they did. When you couldn't figure out why the loss, the delay, the shift, or the silence happened. When you asked, why me? When you were not sure if what you did was right. When you asked me if I had forgotten about you. When you felt like you couldn't see your way through life and had to make decisions without any clarity, direction, or confidence, I saw you looking for answers. Even though you felt like your whole being was jumbled, I always knew where you were. Even when you thought you were lost, I saw that you were emotionally numb. You remember the times you didn't feel happy, connected, or hopeful. The times when you weren't sad or mad, but just felt empty. When you thought you had nothing more to give, feel, or try. The times when you shut down because how you felt hurt you too much. My child, you weren't broken. The only way you knew how to protect yourself was to do it. It wasn't cold. You were hurt and you were sick of being hurt. I saw how numb you were and I didn't judge you for it. You couldn't feel me, but I didn't pull away from you. Even though you couldn't feel me, I stayed close enough to make you stronger. If your heart is full of praise, my soul worships you. I saw all the times you pretended everything was fine. You used to fake a smile, laugh to hide tears, and tell jokes to hide pain. People rarely notice when you're hurt because you're so good at making yourself look strong. There were times when you felt like giving up, but you kept going. You told them over and over, "I'm fine." It wasn't because you were okay, but because you didn't want to bother anyone. You did not want to seem weak. You didn't want people to judge you. I could see every time you tried to hide how you felt. Every time you muttered and every time you wiped your eyes, I heard your quiet sobs. You cried those tears in the dark at night so no one could hear them. That time you buried your face in your pillow to block out the noise. The nights you cried so much that your body hurt. The times you cried at night and had no idea why. There were nights when pain came out of nowhere. Those nights when you had to carry everything by yourself. When you hold everything in and your chest hurts at night. I saw every tear. They were all used up. None was ignored. None not seen. I could tell you were upset about being forgotten. The pain in your chest when other people didn't support you. It hurt when they didn't check on you or see how much you were struggling. I saw the times when you looked around and felt like you had no one. When you didn't know if anyone really cared, if you were not there, you wondered if anyone would notice. When you wondered why everyone else seemed to have their backs while you were carrying so much by yourself. My child, you felt like no one cared about you. But I never forgot about you. Heaven saw everything you went through and knew it. Never a tear, never a broken heart, never a quiet night, never a moment of confusion, never a feeling of being alone, never a cry for help. Not a single prayer was said in fear. You didn't fight to take a single breath. I saw all of you. I had it all in my hands. You didn't see how I covered you. I looked out for your mind when it was too weak. When life got too hard, I watched over your heart. There were times when you couldn't feel me, but I was always with you. I felt your pain more than anyone else. Even when you thought I was far away or being quiet, I was always there for your wins. Finally, I want you to know that I never left you. I promise to be kind to your soul. Not even for a second. Not a chance in hell. Not for a sigh. Not even for a second when you were shaking from how you felt. I was there with you when your heart broke, standing by you. I was there for you when you were tired and gave you strength when you didn't know where it came from. I was there with you when you were sad, holding on to the pieces of your hope. I was there with you when you were lonely, whispering love into your emptiness. I held your shaking heart when you were scared. Even though you didn't notice, I was there with you in the chaos, slowly pointing you in the right direction. During the numbness, I was there to keep your spirit alive when everything else seemed empty. I was there for every silent cry and held you when you broke. I was there for you every time you thought no one would remember you. Listen, my dear child. I want to talk to you about parts of yourself that you have never let anyone see. I want to find your hidden cries, the deepest desires that lie beneath everything you do. The fears you were afraid to say out loud. You put those dreams away because you thought they were too fragile to handle another letdown. I want to talk about parts of you that no one else has seen. The parts you haven't told anyone about. The parts that you keep from yourself even. Because I care about these quiet hidden spots. Every word you didn't say. Every feeling you sucked in and every desire you thought was too small or impossible. I've heard them all and not a single one has skipped my heart. I heard the things you didn't say. I knew the things you were thinking, but were too shy to say out loud. I heard the worries you kept to yourself because you didn't want to bother other people or look weak. I heard the shaking questions that were inside of you. What if I'm not enough? What if I fail once more? What if I get hurt again? What if things don't get better? What if no one stays? What if I lose everything I hope for? You never said these words out loud. You just thought them to yourself while you were trying to stay calm. You tried to be brave, strong, and calm. But there were storms inside you that you couldn't calm down on your own. All of those silent fears got to me. All of them were taken into account. You buried your dreams not because you no longer wanted them, but because you were tired of fighting for things that kept getting away. You buried your hopes for real happiness because it seemed too wild. Because your heart had been broken too many times. You buried your love dreams. You buried your hopes for a better future because being let down had worn you down. You buried your hopes of getting better because you didn't think you could handle another setback because you felt lost. You buried your dreams of having a purpose. For fear of noise, you buried your hopes for peace. You buried dreams that were once alive and bright. You told yourself it would be easier not to want them. But I saw you bury them with hands that were shaking. It hurt too much to want them, so I watched you hide them. I kept those dreams safe for you. They did not pass away. Their only goal was to wait until your heart could handle hope again. I could hear the prayers you said in a whisper while shaking. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. When your chest got tight, your hands shook and your tears made it hard to see. You prayed quietly. With such a soft voice, you begged. Please help me. I can't do this alone, you prayed. It was your prayer. Give me strength. Don't let me fall apart. You prayed. No one saw how desperately you prayed. Every single one of those prayers touched my heart like a child's cry for comfort. I didn't forget about them. I didn't push them away. I didn't wait for a prayer or voice that was louder. Heaven moved just by hearing your shaky whisper. I could hear your shaking words better than you thought possible. I know how heavy you feel every morning. The weight you feel as soon as you wake up. It's the pressure in your chest that builds up before you even take a deep breath. So do I. Sometimes waking up feels like going into a battle you didn't mean to go into. I understand how each morning brings back the tasks you don't think you're ready for. The feelings you are still processing and the questions that still don't have answers. I know how often you sit there and try to calm down before getting out of bed. I know how you keep going even though you don't feel strong. A mask that hides everything you're afraid other people won't understand. I know that every morning has been heavy. Sometimes a fear, sometimes a sadness, sometimes a numbness because you didn't know if the day would be kind or if the world would be heavy again. You didn't think anyone saw how hard it was for you in the mornings. As you tried to calm down, you thought no one was watching as you took deep breaths. Everyone you thought didn't know how hard it was to start the day. I did though. Every morning I looked out for you. When you woke up feeling empty, I was there with you. I was there with you when the weight of yesterday was still on your heart. I was there with you when you had to force yourself out of bed, even though you wanted to stay in bed longer and avoid being responsible. As I stood next to you, I put a gentle hand on your heart and gave you strength that you didn't even know came from me. You have no idea how many days you made it because I held your heart together. You have no idea how many times hopelessness tried to swallow you up but couldn't because I was with you. You thought you did it all by yourself so many times. But the truth is that I was carrying you. My eyes have been on your heart all day and all night. I was your strength when you didn't have any left. I was your peace when your thoughts got too loud. At times when you felt lonely, I was there to comfort you. I watched over you. When darkness tried to get to you. When the world got too heavy for you, I was there for you. But kid, I need you to understand something. Your pain never made me tougher. It made me feel something. Your silent pain didn't push me away. It made me feel closer. I wasn't scared away by your fear. It made me feel sorry for them. I didn't find it rude that you were numb. It hurt my feelings for you. I wasn't annoyed by your disappointments. They made me want to hug you even more. I've never had enough of you. Your feelings have never gotten the best of me. I have never been scared by your questions. I've never been turned off by your weakness. I've never felt bad about your need. I felt every pain, fear, and tear you carried, and it brought us closer, not farther apart. I saw when you quietly cried out into the night. You hoped that the silence would wipe away your tears quickly. I saw you hide in your room because you were so upset that you didn't want anyone to see. I saw how quickly you wiped your tears away so no one would ask you about it. I saw you quietly cry in the shower because that was the only place you felt safe enough to break down. I saw you hold your chest because the pain was too much to describe. You said, "Does anyone even care?" And I heard you. I saw you cry so hard that your body shook. I saw the pain you were in behind closed doors. And every second broke my heart for you. Not because I was mad, but because I loved you. I never wanted you to feel like you had to carry everything by yourself. I heard you when no one else did. I knew your heart was breaking when no one else did. When no one else could understand your pain, I did. I was watching you when you thought no one could see you. I loved you even when you felt like you weren't important. I held you when you felt like you didn't belong. I said your name in the sky when you felt like you had been forgotten. I gave your spirit strength when you felt like giving up, and it kept you going. I kept your heart from breaking when you felt like nothing. When you were stressed out, I gave you quiet grace that you didn't even know you were getting. My child, I want to talk to you about something you've been having a hard time with for a long time. The idea that your life has been held up, slowed down, or blocked in ways you couldn't explain. You've thought about your life and asked yourself why certain things didn't happen to you the way they did for other people. You asked why doors that looked great shut all of a sudden. You asked why people who you thought would stay left all of a sudden. You asked yourself why chances kept slipping away even though you prayed with all your heart. You asked why it seemed like something would push you back every time you moved forward. When you looked ahead, you saw what seemed like a foggy path. It was like you were walking through uncertainty without a plan, without clarity, and without the answers you begged me for. That being said, I want to tell you the truth about these delays, endings, and pauses that you hated so much. None of them were punishments. Every single one was a shield. Thank God for holding my hand if you felt close to Him. Please share this video. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.